Hi everyone, it's Ileana and I have a Christmas card to share with you today. I am going to be using three stamp sets. I'm only showing two here, but there's one more that I show later on. The main one is the Ellen Hudson Homespun Holiday. The other one is Concord and Ninth Oh Christmas Tree, and also from Concord and Ninth Joy. I've taken the sentiment from the Oh Christmas Tree stamp set and I'm just going to center it on my grid, and it's a free download that you can get from my website. And I did prep my card base with an anti-static tool. I am making multiples of these. I end up making 6 of them, but you'll only see one being completely made. I'm just cleaning off the Delicata Gold ink from my stamp, and I am going to use Versamark over it. The Delicata just dries super fast, and so the embossing powder won't stick to it. I'm using Ranger Gold Tinsel for my embossing powder, and I tap it off before I add my heat tool, the heat from the heat gun, onto it to melt the powder. And once it's heated up, it goes really quickly to emboss it. I'm going to be placing my first stamp on here, and I am just using my magnets to hold my cardstock down. Even though it was just a quick pass with the heat gun, it still warped the paper, and so it kind of bows. And if it bows, then if there's any ink on the lid, it'll get onto your cardstock. So I like to add the magnets on there to keep it from smearing. And I am going to be stamping a little bit more later, but I'm just going to show you how I colored these in. I'm using G24 and G94 as my colors, and I'm just adding the darker color down to the stem part of the leaf. I want to say that this is a holly branch, so now I'm just going to blend that in with the lighter color, the G24. I did use a black ink that is Copic friendly. I used the Memento Tuxedo Black. And what I'll do is once I'm done coloring these two branches, I will overstamp them so that I can emboss them with some clear powder. I've repositioned my cardstock back into the corner of the MISTI, and I'm just rotating my paper. I don't really need to move my stamp for every single one of the times that I stamp it. So just by placing it carefully and then testing out where the stamp's going to fall once I rotate it, it's going to save a lot of time. And I repeat this process for every branch that you see on the card. And so by strategically placing it and then testing it out, you'll see that it's going to be in a good spot on each time. You just have to be careful that it's not going to get onto the words. And originally I wanted to fill the entire card with the branches, but as I was stamping it, I noticed that I really liked this pattern and I liked the white space that was on there. And what I just showed you was that I just used the 3 little dots from the Joy stamp set to add the berries. I also trimmed off about 1/4 of an inch from each side of the card just so that it would be centered. And I'm just adding some really strong adhesive, and I'm using this Be Creative tape because I'm going to be adding it onto a piece of glittered cardstock. At first I wanted to use a ruler to help me line up the stamps, but it was too big of a, the gold was showing too much, so I got rid of the ruler and then I just eyeballed it. After I adhere my piece, I'll just trim it down and then add the other piece to the other side. And once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and add that to a piece of real red cardstock. I believe I used the Pure Poppy I think it's Pure Poppy from Paper Tray ink, but the Stamping Up Real Red is the exact same shade, so you could use either one, but I just picked a brightly colored red. I did use the real red for my berries when I stamped them. And I am being generous with the foam tape. I don't like my card to sag, and so I'm just adding a piece to the middle. And then once that's complete, I'm just going to add that to the front of my card. I haven't been removing all of the backing from my adhesive. I've been just doing part of it. That way, if I don't get it centered the way I want, it won't be so hard to pull the adhesive off. And then I just lift up the edges and just remove the backing. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to give the video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks.